I hate having history homework every day. Why would I want to learn about women during the Enlightenment? It's probably not even interesting. I might as well put this off as long as possible and watch some TV instead.
Kyle, are you doing your homework?
Yeah, Mom, I'm actually going to watch a TV program for school, so if you hear the TV playing, that's what I'm doing. A little procrastination never hurt anyone.
The principles of gender constructs associated with the early modern era of Europe often placed women in subordinate social, cultural, and educational roles, refuting their general agency and ability as a sex. The period of Enlightenment, which emphasized the importance of the individual over cultural norms, inspired a new way of thinking with respect to equality of the sexes. In 18th century France, women were often considered inferior to men and faced exclusion from political and social participation. For example, marriage existed mainly as a social contract between families, and in accordance with strict gender roles, patriarchal expectations mandated that women practiced obedience under their husbands and always followed instructions. In fact, as cultural paradigms often condemned women's liberation, their most important roles included that of a daughter, wife, or mother, and not much more. However, as ideals associated with the Enlightenment, such as equality and individualism, gained popularity, the attitude concerning women and their abilities began to shift. Through participation in unprecedented intellectual and social institutions and activities, such as salons, writing, and Masonic lodges, women found their public voices. As such, their social and political scopes expanded greatly over the course of the 18th century, paving the way for more rights and what is now recognized as modern-day feminism.
This is so boring. I'm going to find a reality show to watch instead.
Pocahontas, Sacagawea, how's my favorite little half-breed? Yeah, we got a divorce.
I had it up to here with bailing John out, like it's Thanksgiving.
And jail.
And poor little Kim, wig squeezing her brain, she went for it.
Thank you all for coming to my salon today. With your help, we have become the social backbone of the Enlightenment.
I suppose my apprentice has invited you all here to my parlor by herself. Perhaps my illness has made me so unimportant that I was not informed about it myself. Or perhaps I was just too busy corresponding with Voltaire.
Apprentice, please. In my defense, it's my own social power that has attracted such a young crowd today. Without me, this salon would be as old and as haughty as the court of Versailles. Besides, Madame Dufon, I have read to you every single night.
Madame, if I may interrupt, I have the highest regards for Julie, as I told you in our correspondence. Honestly, I consider the salon the most exciting time of the day.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Don't be jealous of my youthfulness. I'm 1768, and you're 16 and late. You should be glad I had the energy to engage with these philosophers and keep the intellectual spirit alive.
Engage? Is that what they call it these days?
Who cares if D'Alembert prefers me to her? Sure, I appreciate that Madame Dufon welcomed me into her intellectual network, but if our efforts are going to turn into a cohesive feminist mentality, she's got to let me take the reins. Her petty drama has nothing to do with this.
Wait, what are we talking about again? This show is so depressing. I'm going to find something a little more lighthearted.
I bring you female empowerment to stand up for women's inherent rights.
Disregard her.
I bring you women's political rights to match their roles in making you a governing body.
Not now, we're busy governing. Women's political empowerment, a dangerously progressive idea.
Okay, Monica. Well, let's be honest. I never really thought I'd be the one quizzing you. But in order to be a new member in our Masonic Society, you've got to know the tenets of our organization.
Well, you know I was born an overachiever.
Well, okay, Miss Smarty Pants. Here's your first question then. What is
Freemasonry? It's an international order established for mutual help and fellowship, who originally stonemasons, traced back to the formation of the Grand Lodge of Britain in 1717. Beat that.
Well, for somebody who was turned out on the streets without any money, for refusing to marry into wealth, I might add, I think I've come a long way. In fact, I just received my Amazonry and Gleiss degree, the highest Masonic degree for a woman. And it sucks for Joey, because now I get to control part of the ritual.
Man, I'm the actor here. Since you all came around, Freemasonry has changed from a male-run organization to one run by women. How am I supposed to get all the ladies now when you all are in such high positions?
Listen, women deserve credit. I mean, it's not like it was all fun and games for us. In fact, we used to have to sit idly by while men discussed current events and tried to make improvements. And now we've transformed what used to be a pastime for us into a physical working space for our own political improvement.
I like the physical presence of all women.
Yeah, and thanks to the Enlightenment ideas of the Masonry, women have created their own ritual identities and can now spread social values and champion their inherent rights.
No disrespect, ladies, but throughout the rest of Europe in the 1740s, when Freemasonry was gaining popularity, other countries excluded women from being members. France was an exception, probably because of its early Enlightenment exposure. So consider yourselves lucky to be in the right place at the right time.
You know what, Joey? It wouldn't surprise me if those were your lines for tonight's meeting and you just went ahead and memorized them all.
Hey now, I resent that. I'm with the changing times and shifting attitudes. I completely agree that women deserve their own opportunities.
I'm glad that you identify everyone as equals. Regardless, we've got to take action here, and the only way is through public participation.
Well, I know Phoebe attended a protest earlier. To be fair, there's no surprise there. But she did say that people seem pretty unhappy with our government right now. And if we could get Masonic lodges involved with political dissenters, I think we could make a huge difference. We could even make picket signs.
Or women's clubs. This is the perfect way to take a stand. Republican clubs for women. What a great idea.
Wait, I'm not included? I'm your best friend.
Sorry, Joey. No boys allowed this time.
It's 4:30. I'm gonna see if Deal or No Deal is on. Welcome to Deal or No Deal, where a revolutionary Republican feminist will compete for political empowerment. Could today's guest please introduce herself?
My name is Olympia Gouge, an important member of the Society of Revolutionary Republican Women and the author of the Declaration of Rights of Women and the Female Citizen.
A worthy contender. Well, Olymp, here are the rules. You will choose one briefcase at a time, each numbered with a different year of the French Revolution. Some years might benefit women's political empowerment, and some might adversely affect it. Some might even do both. After each case, the revolutionary government will try to make a deal with you, and it wants you to get out of here with as little official political equality as possible. However, you can also refuse the deal and keep playing. Not so fast. If you run out of cases, you will be stuck with whatever place you occupy in the spectrum of empowerment behind you. Presumably, your goal is to move as far to the left side as possible. Olymp, choose your first case.
1789.
Nice. Having proved their political knowledge and engagement by marching on Versailles and demanding lower subsistence prices, women are organizing into revolutionary political clubs. Further, many male counterparts are treating them as equals, since they demand the same overarching reforms. It's the National Assembly. Well, Olymp, the Assembly is neither offering a concrete definition of female Republican citizenship, nor officially expanding the political rights of women.
How ridiculous! If the revolution has solved old regime problems by applying rational dictates, certainly the same solution should be applied to gender ambiguities. I say no deal.
Well, let's see what the rest of the revolution holds. Olymp, choose another case.
1792. I have a good feeling about that year.
Facing the ambiguities we just described, as well as the revolution's increasingly militant radicalism, many women conceive in 1792 that they are entitled to political rights, such as the rights to vote and bear arms. Many are petitioning the Legislative Assembly. who has now replaced the National Assembly as our show's antagonist, by the way. They are also proving their political knowledge, targeting corruption and monopolism in addition to demanding lower food prices. I don't recognize this number. Oh, it must be the Legislative Assembly. Hello? Olymp, this offer is the best one yet. The Legislative Assembly has offered women new civil rights, such as divorce and equal inheritance. What do you say?
The only way for all women to advance their interests is through Enlightenment education. Until the Assembly includes that education, I refuse to make a deal.
Well, since the Assembly has said nothing about education, you really need to make a decision regardless.
To anyone truly educated in Enlightenment principles of rational equality, the decision is already made. No deal I make will help. It is up to women at grassroots levels to promote their own interests, as well as the Assembly to focus on the education that would benefit them. I choose neither deal nor no deal. This game is stupid.
Well, this is awkward, so here's a word from our sponsor.
Kyle, are you still watching TV? You better turn that thing off and get back to your homework.
But I really was watching it for school. I wasn't lying. Well, I thought I was lying, but it really ended up being true. Every single show on TV right now is about the Enlightenment and women's roles.
Sure they were. Anyway, just get back to your work and get it done.
Okay, I'll start on it now. Sometimes procrastination does pay off.